For the past several weeks, we've been focusing and talking about the secrets to having a blessed family. Today we bring that to a conclusion, and speaking about our church family especially. We've been speaking about these high principles of being a training Catholic and love and commitment and all of these wonderful things, and they're all true. Today I want to talk about something very practical, housekeeping. That's also a part of a family, isn't it? Those little basic little things that we do that in the end are important, aren't they? And they add up to the whole household. I'm going to do some church housekeeping. We are so blessed to have a faith community where we can come and worship the Lord. So let's talk about some of the little things that we can all do that all in the end point to that and help us to live our faith. I'm going to begin at the altar and move out. The reading from Isaiah today, Isaiah's personal testimony, his story of his calling is so beautiful. Did you hear that? How he said that in this calling from God, God took an ember from the altar of incense in heaven and touched it to the lips of Isaiah. And that touching of this sacred incense to his lips completely transformed his life. That's all meant to be a prefiguring for the Eucharist, isn't it? That when we receive the Holy Eucharist, the transformation that is possible in our lives, the great gift that we've received, it's so amazing. So I want to talk just briefly about receiving Holy Communion. We have two ways in which the church invites us to receive Holy Communion. One is receiving communion directly on the tongue, and the other is on our hand. So I want to talk about just some housekeeping around two things. If you choose to receive your communion on the hand, this is just a helpful update. It's really helpful if you make a nice, flat, good, reverent place for us to put the Eucharist. Sometimes people come up with their hands kind of in canyon mode, and it's very difficult to put the Eucharist in, and my fear is that when you take off one hand, it's going to fall to the ground. So put both one hand nice and flat, and support that if you can with the other hand, and receive Holy Communion that way. And go ahead and get your hands up. I know I'm kind of tall, so I can bend over too, but sometimes we can get a little habit of like hands down low. We're proud. We're so honored to receive Eucharist, so hands up a little bit. Also sometimes too, we can start to kind of cup our hands a little bit like this. Our hands kind of cup in, and I'm trying to find a way to, so just open the hands up, nice, great place to put the Eucharist up nice and tall. Does that work? That would be really helpful for all of us who are distributing Holy Communion. For those who receive on the tongue, that's actually the preferred method of the church, is receiving on the tongue, and it's really simple. You just come forward with your hands folded. If you want a wonderful tutoring on how to receive that way, just come to Spanish Mass. They're the pros. Our Hispanos are perfect at that. But you just have to open your mouth just a little bit, and we'll put the Eucharist right inside. You actually don't have to lean back and open your mouth really, really, really wide. And I don't mean to be silly or anything, but it's easier to just crack your mouth a little bit, and we'll just put the Eucharist right inside, and it's really simple. Those are just two reverent ways to receive Holy Eucharist. Just a little housekeeping there. Moving out from the altar as we head towards the pews. Here's a couple of things that we could do to help one another in Mass. Two things. First of all, we have a lot of pews, and our pews are very large. We have a lot of acreage of pews here. For us to help people and to be welcoming to people, sometimes we can fill up the edges, and then it's hard for people to get into the middle. When all of the edges are blocked out, we come in and we sit on the end. There's nothing wrong with sitting on the end. If you sit on the end, just know that sometimes people are going to be coming in, and they might not know they can, because I'm not looking. Help people, let them pass, because we have a lot of acreage in the middle pews. And so just being attentive to other people who are coming in and looking for a place to sit down. You can sit wherever you would like. We want to help people if they're coming. I've seen it before where they're coming, that pew's locked, where can I sit? And so just be attentive to help people. It's just a little bit of hospitality to assist people. Second thing is, thank you so much for helping us to keep the pews and the books, the missals in the pews organized. You continue to use your help with that. we try to keep one book of each color in each section with the binding facing up. And it's been really helpful. I know all this can seem like, these little things help. What can happen is the missalettes can migrate. Sometimes we come in and we have a lot of people that want a missalette, and they'll grab them from other pews, and that's totally fine. Just put them back. Help them put them back and things like that. It just helps us so the next people coming in, they have the books there that they need. That's just really, 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 really helpful. And then moving out to our parking lot, I have to say thank you all so much for your patience. Every week I go, okay, we're working on the parking lot, and then it rains all week. And then it snows, and they get the trucks out, and the next day they take them all home because we're getting there eventually. So I know that it causes a lot of congestion in the parking lot. Thank you for your patience with one another. The last couple of Sundays, I've actually went over to help with religious education right after Mass. So those of you who are parents who go right from here to religious education, you're awesome. Because I did what you do. Finished Mass, got in my car, and tried to get out of this chaotic parking lot. It's crazy. So thank you for all of you for being patient. It can be crazy out there. We come here and receive the Holy Communion, and we're in the state of grace, and we go to the parking lot and we lose all that grace. So let's give some grace to one another. So maybe if you don't have to rush over to religious education, maybe we'll let some of those parents that do need to get their kids over there and are in a hurry, and stay and pray for a couple of minutes. We have a long tradition of offering a prayer of thanksgiving after Mass, or join in sing the closing hymn all the way through with the choir, and let them be some of those families that need to go. And don't forget, you can park all the way along Roosevelt in front here. You're welcome to park and there too, because we're parking. And I know it's tough, but it can get crazy out there. So thank you for your patience in that. That's my housekeeping. Thank you. Let's prepare ourselves now to receive Holy Communion. Let's think again about that beautiful story from Isaiah. We get to receive the most holy body and blood in the Eucharist. What a gift. Let's prepare our minds and our hearts now to receive this great gift.